Hey guys, it's Relentless Trader and welcome back to another recap. Yes, man, yes, big red day unfortunately, man. Um down 500 down $508.10. Man, wasn't expecting to be red today, right? Never expecting to be red actually, but these red days, man, these red days are coming more frequent than I would like, and they're bigger than I would like, right? Bigger red days than I would usually be having. So, not quite liking that, but just have to keep adjusting, man. I have to keep adjusting until I can shake this funk and get back to winning ways, right? Consistency. But today started right. Today, it wasn't a bad day. We had some good momentum, some good action, but I guess not managing risk well enough, right? Not managing risk well enough, and letting a few trades get away from me, right? It took a couple of losers here today. To start off, right? We'll come back to JE, VVPR, right? This one here, I mostly traded in pre-market, right? As it was making a move. This one, man, this one I was actually watching it since 8:40. Right now, I'm coming into the market around 8:40 about almost every day. Right, watching these pre-market setups. I saw this entry here, but again, at the time right here, volume was just so light, just 5,000 shares, and I'm like, what is this thing really doing, right? And I saw some green go through, wasn't sure if I should get in, and then boom, and because of the lighter volume, right, you do have that bigger range, right? So from a high of 1227, we had to move to 1258, and then 1290, and then 1310 before it dipped down right here. And with this candle here, because I was at this point I was watching for the first 1 minute candle to go on red for the pullback, right? But the way how this candle here ended, man, reverse hammer. I'm like, what does it want to do? But it did double bottom. I thought it was, the setup wasn't looking good, but it still broke out and gave a move to 14, right? So I waited and waited and waited, and here is where I started to take a few attempts, a few stabs, and just did not see the follow through, right? Took some decent entries, but didn't quite get the breakouts, man. Didn't quite get the breakouts. And right here, I was down $100, right? At the time, I'm like, you know what? No more trades. No more trades on it, right? I felt like I gave it a few attempts to get this bit of a rip right here, but it didn't come until 9 o'clock, and this is where it really opened up. So at this point in time, I felt like I hit my max loss on this stock, right? Especially it's only pre-market. Don't want to keep trying and not have that breakout. The issue that I'm having is anticipating volumes. It's a little tricky, but usually when the volume is coming in, right, you'll see more bigger buyers, like say 2,500 shares, a 3,000 share buyer. Like you'll see buyers of more size compared to just 500, 100 shares. So I got to really zone in and pay attention to that once that green is coming in, because the thing is, when if the volume is coming in and you can get it on time, you can read it well, you can get in, you can get in early and have the trade work for you. But if you wait too long and the volume does come in, the trade will go without you, right? And if you do get in without there being enough volume, the trade will fail. So, got to be a bit better reading the volume, which I think I can do, but really got to focus up on that. And you can see some of these candles here, right? 147,000 shares, 170,000 shares. So we had some volume, but just did not see the level of follow through I would have wanted to see in the range. But into the open, let's zoom out a bit. Not sure why the chart is up so much. But there we go. Into the open. We had a red to green, right? So, and this is the thing with a lot of these stocks. You got to really be watching at it from early. Like if it's the only stock you're watching, it's much easier to do better on it because now you're dialed in. But once you're watching like four different stocks, you're switching between all four. These key setups, like a bounce off the VWAP here, first 1 minute candle to go green. These setups, you'll miss them. First 1 minute pullback there, you'll miss them. So right here, I attempted to get a break of 75, I believe it was, but it just did not work out, right? Break of 75 for the first 1 minute candle to make the new high right here. Didn't happen. And so I ended up stopping out. What was that? 30? No, 37. I can't quite remember why I got in at 37, but this doesn't look like a good trade actually. So took a loss there, and that's a 35-cent loss actually, 200 shares. So that's a decent sized loss. Not sure why I had gotten in there. It's hard to remember exactly why, but this one really opened up around 11:45 when it reclaimed the VWAP and then took off. I mean, bigger move over in this range, right? Not bad at all. So red to green, if you look at the 5, right? Red to green move over the VWAP. First 5 minute candle to make the new high down here. Initiated, volume came in, and boom, right? So and there's people who were watching this stock closely, who took these trades down here and even at the level at 1685, and held the positions through and made some good change. So there's more than enough opportunity to be green, man, to be green. But I got to do a better job at managing risk and not giving back profits. That's what the issue is. So for Monday, we know exactly what to work on. And what I want to do tomorrow I'll do a weekly recap, right? Going over each day individually and looking into a few of the trades to see, what I could have done better. Going back through the charting, just doing some homework pretty much, right? To review, because we can't allow this to happen next week. I refuse to allow bigger red days next week. I want to see more consistency, right? And so, of course, gotta put in the work, man. Gotta put in the work, right? That's the only way to get it back. But that was VVPR. When these stocks, it's a bit discouraging, right? Because I'm trading it in this pre-market range, and it's like just not seeing the breakout, right? Not seeing the breakout. And then when they finally go, it's like, man, you gotta be kidding me, right? It's like a bit frustrating, right? You give it a few attempts, it doesn't go. It kills you, and it's like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna leave this stock alone because it's just not going where I expected to go, right? And then, boom, you get the breakouts. So it's like, man. But that was VVPR, pretty impressive stuff, right? Low of 14 to a high of 24, not bad, not bad. What else did we have? WWR pre-market was looking decent, right? We had some volume coming in, so I wanted to take a few trades, but unfortunately, man, the follow-through was not there. So we had a high of 939 right here, right? You can see a bit of a double top, but we just could not clear this level for whatever reason, right? Volume was a bit lighter, but we did have some buyers coming in, but not enough to clear that level of 39. We had a hidden seller at 40 for a while, but it broke and wasn't able to go. You can see right here, I took a trade. This is the biggest trade I took, 1,000 shares in at 40 and out at 30. So I was watching for the break of the level here, the double top, some volume came in, 62,000 shares, but was not enough to break over the level. This trade right here I missed because I left to go use the bathroom. By the time I came back, it broke this level of 22 for 36, 10 cents. So a lot of the trades pre-market, if there's a good amount of volume, you can get a lot of 10, 15, 20, 30-cent breakouts pretty easily. But you got to be careful and be selective, right? Be a bit more selective. Maybe I probably shouldn't have even traded WWR altogether, right? But I was down at about $100 there, and then into the open, watching this level here of 9 for a break over 9, retest of 912 for a break to, let's say, 920, 925. Did not happen. Double top right here and came back down. So that was that on WWR. So, not any one big loss like we had what was that, Wednesday, yeah. So a couple of smaller losers that definitely added up, right? MVIS, this one here we took a win on. up 140. And, you know, again, giving back profits, right? Giving back profits, we got to be careful with, because we are green on this one by 140, right? And this trade was the first 5 minutes setup to make the new high, which was right here. So break a VWAP, up, right? We had a high of 79, high of 79. So when it curled back up here on some good volume, we got in for the break, and we had a high of 89. Unfortunately, rejected right there because I was watching 89 for another breakout, but rejected, came back down. But 5 minutes setup MVIS was good. And SNMP. SNMP, I was up 250 on and gave back profits, man. So from up 250 to down 150, you know, not good, man. Not good, not good. You know, $400 turnaround. $400 turnaround, which is too much. That's too much profits to be giving back on this one stock, especially. And it was moving pretty well, right? For the most part, I did pretty well on it. Pre-market, I was up $50 on this breakout right here, right? Took some sizing over this level of 134, right? And at this time, VVPR was moving, right? So we had some action pre-market, got in there for a 1 minute setup, worked out, didn't go crazy, right? Because from 34, we hit a high of 38, but I was getting in a little early, took the couple of cents profit and came out. But into the open, we were still watching this level of 38 for a gap and go, right? And so it did a bit of a red to green. It was a bit choppy at first, but then it came up there, and I was getting in at 37, 2,000 shares. Then I added 2,000 shares at 38, and I wanted to see 50, 55, maybe 60, but we got halted at 44. So I sold into the halt, or was it 42? We got halted at 42, so I only made 5 cents on what I felt like would have been a pretty good gap and go setup, but the halt levels were so tight in between, right? You know, if the stock was, let's say, at 260, 360, we would have seen a much bigger move before the halt levels would have came. But took profits into the halt and a small scalp here as it went higher. Where I gave back profits, right, was on this trade right here. And look at the sizing on this trade, right? Look at the sizing on this trade. In with 8,000 shares. What's the low right there? 43. No. This is, hold on, let's see. Let me look at the what time was that? This is, okay, here we go, right here. This is the one. Yeah, I was wondering, like, it wasn't up there. Here, was this on resumption I took that much sizing? I can't remember. See, and this is another thing too. This is too much sizing to be taken at that point in time. Okay, I remember. We had we dipped back down, right? We dipped back down, and we held 40, 44 pretty well. Like that range of 40 to 44. So back over 50, I wanted to see it rip, right? I wanted to see that retake of 50 for the high of day test. So I thought it was looking good, and I got in heavy. That's exactly what happened. So with the hotkey that I have, right, I was doing this pretty much. Let's make sure this is on day. All right. Right, boom, 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 boom. That's how I did that right there. I was pretty much clicking like a maniac, all right, because it was looking good. The thing is too, that's happening to me a lot over these last couple of weeks, is that on the trades that I do decide to size up on, they have not been working out, none of them, which is a bit disappointing, right? Now, one of the goals and rules that I have is to always make sure I decrease size as the day goes on. But I still felt like it was pretty early, right? It was 9:38, 9:39, and it held so nicely down there at 40, right, that I thought we would have had that the breakout, and actually 45, actually low 45. I thought we'd have had that break back over 50 for a test of high of day. We had the break, but only by 2 cents. Right, so that's what happened there. And this trade here is where I gave back most of the profits, right? out of the halt down there at the VWAP, was really watching to see if we could have held support, right? And so we did. We had 400,000 shares of buyers, man. Two big buyers, 200,000 shares apiece. So I was watching that level, watching closely, right? And watching with just a 1 cent stop, right? So I was risking, even with 7,500 shares, I was going to be risking $75. But I could not get filled properly getting out of this thing, right? So in there 23, right? The buyers were at 22, and you can see I stopped out with some of the position at 16, right? Hitting my hotkeys to sell on the bid, and was not getting filled for whatever reason, man. Because this thing was pretty liquid, very surprising. 120 million shares of volume here today, right? So very surprising. I couldn't get out quickly, right? But what I should have did, what I was supposed to do, was hit the flatten button, because hitting it. So let's say when I hit my hotkey, right, to get in, boom, boom, boom. Selling it one at a time is not fast enough, right? So what I need to do is make sure to hit that hotkey to flatten, right? When the orders are actually out there, I'll be selling 300 shares. Like right now, 300 shares is selected. So let's say I go up to 2,000 shares and I buy in 2,000 share blocks. I'll be selling 2,000 shares at a time, right? Every time I hit the sell button. And you know, with most stocks being hard to borrow, I don't really have to worry about hitting the bid and going short. So that's actually some good news there. But gave back profits on this trade. Was expecting a bounce, a retest of VWAP from that support, right? So many buyers right there. Very surprised that it sold through. And you can see the volume 1.4 and then 2 million shares as it broke down below those sellers, below those buyers. So a bit disappointing there. But that was SNMP again, from up 250 to down 150, right? So gotta be careful, gotta do better. And I also, in the first trade that I'm taking, the first trade for me is usually the trade with the highest accuracy, probably like 60-70%. I gotta take more sizing when I feel like the setup is really good and low risk. Right here, 4,000 shares was decent, but you know, in other situations, in other scenarios, when we're getting that first 1 minute candle to go green, or first 5 minute candle to go green, if it's low risk, it looks really good. Got to step it up, and you know, and let the trade work. But that was SNMP, and that was pretty much the day. Oh, JE was more disappointing, man, because if we look at some of the candles I got in on, right? Like look at this candle here, right? Red to green, 1 minute setup. You know, this one here not so good, but you know, a lot of trades at the apex point and just not seeing the results, right? Not seeing the results. You know, here again, first 1 minute candle to make the new high, getting in, not seeing the end, not seeing the follow through. Here again, right? Bit of a false break here, trying to read the volume, but here getting back in for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high 54. And not getting to get proper trades, man. Not getting to get proper. So some good entries on this one, but just not seeing the follow through, right? So this trade here, I wanted to hold a bit longer in with 800 shares. Wanted to hold a bit longer, but then we ended up pulling back. It's like I wouldn't expect a 1 minute pullback after a 1 minute pullback just happened, you know? It's like wanting to see, right here, I wanted to see at least 2-3 green candles, but we had to pull back again before seeing 4 green candles. So it's like, come on, you know. And it was a bit more grindy. When it finally got to this level of 8, it gave a nice rip to 850. So this was a nice push right here. If your strategy allows you to hold longer, you definitely could have did well in this range right here on this one. But not too bad. But a bit disappointing, you know, not getting to see that good breakout whilst I was in there. This was an attempt at a high of day move. Didn't happen. Stopped out quickly. And that was the day. I sat here for another hour or two in the chat room. And you know, was looking at VVPR and some other stocks. But at that point in time, you know, was already down a good amount. Didn't want to take any more trades. Monday will be another day. You know, after some studying, we'll be back, right? We'll be back and better than ever. Monday. So tomorrow I'm gonna be going over, day by day, and pointing out some of those key trades, what I can work on, what I can do better, and that kind of a thing, right? So definitely in a rut, man, a long rut. Right now the account has been going sideways forever. Feels like an eternity, right? It's been 2 months of sideways consolidation in the account, right? And right now, actually, I'm in the for the last 2 months, I'm now going into the red after this week, right? Because we had the Wednesday, which was $1,100 loss, and then today, which is $1,600 between these 2 days. So we got some work to do. We got to dig deep as usual, right? Trading is not easy. We got to dig deep and be better, man. Be better. Be more selective, and really work on not giving back profits, because we're making on a lot of these red days, we're making money, right? We're making money, but overall we're giving back more profits than we're making, so we're heading in the wrong direction, right? Can't take 2 steps forward and then take 4 steps back, right? On any one given day. So got to do a better job managing that risk, being more disciplined, being more selective, and finding that place to walk away when I'm green, right? Green on the day, and then even green on certain stocks. Really waiting to let the stock progress and getting better setups, right? But that's gonna do it for this one. It's been RT, and of course, nope. I always do this shit. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you're still watching. Of course, if you do want to join the chat room will be the very first link in the description below. Now, it's been RT for the second time, and I am signing out.